In February, the Perseverance rover touched down on the surface of Mars, the largest and most advanced rover NASA has ever put on another planet. Perseverance represents a major leap forward in human space exploration and the search for extraterrestrial life. And while it takes hundreds of scientists and engineers all over the world to pull off a mission like this, we wanted to highlight 3 Latinas who were integral in making this historic moment possible. Let's learn more about our 2021 STEM Award honorees, Clara O'Farrell, Christina Hernandez, and Diana Trujillo.
My name is Clara O'Farrell, and I am a guidance and control engineer working on the Mars 2020 Perseverance rover.
My name is Diana Trujillo, and I'm currently a tactical mission manager for the Perseverance mission.
My name is Christina Hernandez. My pronouns are she, her, and ella, and I am a payload systems engineer on the Perseverance mission.
I grew up in Buenos Aires. When I was in first grade, my grandma took me to Tierra del Fuego, which is the southernmost province of Argentina, to see the penguins. You know, when I got to high school, I realized that being a marine biologist was more than just playing with penguins, and I realized that I really liked solving problems and I liked math and physics, so I decided to become an engineer.
My parents were actually going to college when I was in elementary school. And my dad was studying to be an engineer, and he'd bring home his calculus books and all of his wires and gizmos, and I would watch him as I was doing my own homework. I loved asking why. Why this? Why that? Well, why are we going here? And they really helped grow that curiosity by just enabling that behavior.
I was born and raised in Colombia. I came to the US when I was 17. I knew very little English. I had $300 in my pocket. And at that point in my life, I was in a survival mode. So I was going through my English classes. I will never look at my transcript. I will never look at my grades. And then one time, an English teacher came to me and said, "You know you have really good grades." I said, "No, I don't." And then my teacher then later on is like, "No, you don't, you're not understanding. You should go register for honor classes and go do these other things." I was afraid of being a failure. Turns out that I wasn't a failure. And when she pointed that to me, I realized that I could actually learn and I could push myself, and I was actually smart, and I hadn't realized that. 2006, I was admitted to the NASA Academy program, which is an internship that is in Goddard in Maryland. We went and saw a space shuttle launch. We got together with scientists that I remember thinking, "I want your job, I want your job, I want your job." And it opened up this idea of like, here's everything you can do in space exploration, which I used to think like, only these people can do it. And now it's like, no, there's all of these jobs.
And I happened to be here in Pasadena in 2012 when Curiosity rover landed. One of the things that I found out was that one of the main players also happened to be from Argentina. So that was talked, he gave me advice, and he also believed in me, and he took a chance on me, and he, you know, helped me, introduced me to the right people, and here I am today.
I remember the recruiter at Cal Poly, my university, they said, "This is the resume of somebody who already works at JPL." And so they gave me a shot. You know, they said, "You know, we want you to come to JPL and interview," and I just really gave it my all. So I was part of the team, the payload team, that was basically in charge of building the 7 different instruments that are now on the rover.
The rover is very heavy. It weighs over 2,000 pounds, and when it arrives at Mars, it's going at 12,000 miles an hour, and we have 7 minutes to take it from that speed to less than 1 mile an hour so we can touch down safely on the surface. We designed a new supersonic parachute. It was 70 feet in diameter, and it was stronger than any parachute we'd designed before. So I was part of the team that was tasked with testing this parachute.
Before we launch, we just need to hurry up and make it to the launch vehicle, make sure that everything is integrated. But then before we land, I switch into the operational readiness test lead, which meant that from the surface standpoint, we were putting together 4 huge tests where we were actually putting the team to the test. So now we're on Mars, and I'm actually the flight director while we're trying to do the deployment, which is crazy awesome. And then after that, I had the pleasure to also be flight director for the deployment of the helicopter.
The moment that we heard that the parachute had deployed successfully, that was so exciting, but also so much relief, because we'd been working on that for years, and that feeling of like, I didn't screw it up.
For the first time, we had done the first planetary landing broadcast in Spanish. And I had the honor to have been the host of that broadcast. My culture, my heritage got to join in with the party at the right time when it was happening and did not miss anything.
I'm a regular person who's had tremendous opportunity and who's been helped out along the way by some fantastic people. So it's our responsibility to create those opportunities for the next generation.
This award is going to now introduce, everybody to the next generation of Latinas and the ones that are really creating change and trying not just to get to a place of visibility, but to bring up communities, to bring up students who believe that they don't belong.
Hopefully people will hear my story and realize not only comes from the dreams and hopes when you're an immigrant and you come to a different place where you don't know anything about it, you don't have any families, but that's not gonna stop you because we as Latinos have that in our blood. We don't give up, we don't back down, we fight through it. And fight through it means you can make it to another planet and still fight through it and keep breaking barriers. Do it in Spanish, bring in the next generation, do all of these things so the next time that we talk about going to another planet, it's not 5 or 6 Latinos, it's like, it doesn't matter anymore because we're so many that we can all go. So now is truly the blue planet going to another planet and not just a few people.